Crimson glass, blood, crystal bright crimson blood flowed down a lifeless blue eye, slowly covering everything the boy saw with a shade of red. He slowly looked down to see a hand through his heart. His body went numb. He commanded his body not to fall. He wouldn't give up now. He made a promise. Naruto Uzumaki never goes back on his word. That's his ninja way. Alas, his body did not comply as his shaking knees buckled in and his eyes slowly closed. Then his head smashed the rock floor. He did not move after that. His segregated brother, best friend, comrade, Uchiha Sasuke, had shoved the Chidori through his heart and was now leaving forever, tearing the bond they had apart. Images of Sakura's anguished face when the person she loved most was gone came to his mind. He dug in deeper and deeper. He grasped one last pulse of the Biju's chakra as he smashed his head onto Sasuke's as they both fell. The last thing he saw before he passed out was pink. Beautiful pink hair.
And today thinking myself
He heard sounds of whispering. Then his eyes snapped open to blinding white lights. When his eyes adjusted, he saw a hospital room. He looked around to see people talking. He couldn't hear what they were saying due to the deafening high-pitched noise he was constantly hearing. His body felt weak. He tried to get up as he fell off the bed, and everything went black again. It had been 5 hours since he had finally gotten out of the hospital. He was there for 2 days, but got no visits from the one person he wanted to see most. Sakura was nowhere to be seen. Until now, that is. He and the retrieval team that concluded of the Konoha 12 and the council were there to decide what to do with Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke wasn't present since he hadn't awoken yet. Tsunade started asking everyone for their reports so they could figure out what happened 2 nights ago. Only Naruto and Sakura were left. So far, all Tsunade got was that Orochimaru's men had Sasuke in a coffin, and the Konoha 12 and the Sand Genin fought them as Naruto and Sakura, who were closest to him, went to retrieve him. Naruto told them the reason Sasuke was leaving and how he tried to kill him and Sakura just to leave. The council and Tsunade had a serious, doleful expression as they would have to send the last Uchiha to jail for life because of his betrayal to the village. The Konoha 12 had mournful faces. Ino and Sakura took it the hardest. Ino broke out into tears, while Sakura mentally broke down. She needed to save her Sasuke. Maybe if she saved him from a life in prison, Sasuke would love her and not leave. She made up her mind as she screamed, "Naruto's lying! Sasuke was kidnapped forcefully. When he got out of the coffin, Sasuke explained what happened to him, and then he was going to come back to the village. Naruto was jealous that I would get to be with Sasuke, so he tried to kill Sasuke since he knew he wouldn't get in trouble. He forced Sasuke into a fight, and Sasuke defended himself. They both passed out." She then continued to cry. The council saw this as their chance to get rid of the monster, so they demanded for Naruto to be banished since they couldn't kill him. The Konoha 12 tried to intervene, but they were shut down. Naruto tried to defend himself, but he was silenced. Tsunade tried to defend Naruto, but the council overpowered her. She would seem corrupt if she defended Naruto, when a crying Konoichi said he tried to kill someone he was supposed to retrieve. That day, she had to give an order she would forever regret. Naruto entered the food stand. The delicious aroma of the godly ramen hit his nostrils for the last time. He put on his best fake smile as he ordered. With a hug that surprised both the ramen guy and his daughter, he left the stand, never to return again. Naruto walked into the beautiful night streets of Konoha for the last time as he got home. His sad, lonely apartment that held countless memories was soon stripped of its important things as Naruto opened the door to leave. He looked back once more to see the place he had spent his entire life in. He then turned off the lights for the last time and walked towards the gates. As he took his first step, the realization of what had just happened hit him. He would never return. Everyone he trusted had betrayed him. Konoha had betrayed him. He didn't know much for sure. All he knew is that they were going to regret banishing him. With a new goal in mind, one leg after the other, he dashed out of sight. It had been 2 days since Naruto left, and Anbu rushed into Tsunade's office with an unconscious Sakura. Miles away was Sasuke on his way to Orochimaru. Sakura was awoken by a splash of cold water. Tears appeared on her face as she told the news of Sasuke leaving again, 1 day ago. This time, they were too late. Sakura then finally told the truth about the whole situation, but yet again, it was too late. Naruto was gone. Sasuke was gone. Sakura wasn't punished for treason, as her mental state was blamed for her behavior. At least that's the reason her mother, who was on the council and pulled some strings for her, said to everyone. It looked like Konoha was as corrupt as ever. This left a depressed Kakashi with a failed team. He started heavy training in the hopes of being able to bring his students back. He was too busy to train Sakura, and Tsunade refused to train her for what she did to Naruto. She begged Kurenai to train her. Hinata despised Sakura for what she did to Naruto, but she knew what she would do for her love, so she couldn't blame her. She managed to convince Kurenai and her 1 year younger sister Hanabi to let her train with them. 1 day later, Sasuke's training had begun under Orochimaru. 2 days later, Naruto had finally arrived at the neutral land of Iron. He breathed out a large breath as he calmly looked at it in the freezing cold. He looked at the beautiful sights of the small village he was in. As he was calmly walking, the mouth-watering stench of ramen hit his nose. He walked over to the stand. He saw an old man eating there and a young lady making ramen. He walked in as he ordered some food. The old man looked at him and said, "You're not from around here, are you?" Naruto chuckled and said, "Is it that obvious?" The old man smiled and said, "Most people from here don't wear Konoha headbands." Naruto looked shocked. He forgot he had that thing on. He then remembered what had happened to him a few days ago. His face was sorrowful as he slowly took off the headband. He then reached into his pouch and grabbed the kunai. With a determined look, he put 2 slashes into the headband, forming an X on it. The old man looked at Naruto and said, "You look like you could use someone to talk to." Naruto looked at the man with a strong will in his blue eyes as he said, "I've had enough talks. It's time for action." The old man put his hand over Naruto's shoulder, which surprised Naruto a bit. He then said, "Don't do something you'll regret, child. You shouldn't make decisions while in this state of mind. Tell you what, I'll get you another bowl of ramen, and you can tell me everything you need to get out of your chest as we walk back to my place." The man's soothing, wise words calmed Naruto down as he devoured his bowl of ramen. Naruto didn't know why, but he felt comfortable with the man. On the way back, he told him everything Konoha had done to him. The man listened calmly. When they got to a door, which Naruto had guessed was the man's house, Naruto said one thing: "I need to get stronger." The old man said, "Tell you what, boy, I'll train you under one circumstance." Naruto looked at the man with hope in his eyes. "I will train you if you promise not to go down the path of revenge." Naruto was silent for a few seconds, as he then said, "I don't plan on going down that route. I've seen what it did to Sasuke." The man smiled and opened the door. "Welcome to the Hojo clan dojo. I'm the leader of the clan, Hikari Hojo." Naruto was shocked. The legendary sword user who defeated the 7 swordsmen of the mist by himself, rivaled Tobirama Senju in his water affinity, who retired due to old age 30 years ago, was now his sensei. The man was even older than the 3rd Hokage. This guy was an ancient legend. 7 feet away, Jiraiya watched as his successor was accepted as a student of such a legend. He smiled, knowing the kid was in good hands. Now, he could focus on the Akatsuki, but he will be back to train the boy when he's strong enough to come along with him. He was sure, with Hikari Hojo teaching the boy, he would be more than strong enough. Flashback. Jiraiya was coming back to the village to take Naruto on a training trip. He first went to visit Tsunade. He walked into Tsunade's office, and she looked like garbage. He guessed many sleepless nights and plenty of stress. He worriedly asked her what was wrong. He was enraged when he found out the answer. This video took a long time to make, especially with the whole writing situation, so I would really appreciate it if you smash that like button. I'm gonna go with something crazy because you guys have gotten OP recently. 1,000 likes for the next part. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button. Comment Q, it helps the algorithm a lot. And if you're not subscribed already, subscribe. Check out my Instagram and the Discord. Turn notifications on with the Discord, because YouTube doesn't do its job and send notifications. So we send notifications on Discord as soon as I upload. I hope you've enjoyed. Have a great day. Roll the outro.